What if the faces you've admired for decades aren't exactly what they seem? Behind the glamour of Hollywood lies a hidden truth. Cosmetic procedures that didn't always go as planned. Many fans feel shocked, even betrayed, when iconic looks suddenly change. But what really happened? In this video, you'll discover the real stories behind celebrity transformations, the risks, the regrets, and the moments that changed everything. From subtle tweaks to dramatic outcomes, we'll uncover what the cameras don't always show. Stay with me because some of these before and after stories will completely change the way you see fame. And one reveal near the end might truly surprise you. Goldie Hawn has spent more than 5 decades as a symbol of warmth, humor, and authenticity in American cinema. Rising to fame in the late 1960s and flourishing through the 1970s and 80s, she became beloved for her infectious laugh, sparkling blue eyes, and natural charm. Whether in comedy or drama, her presence always felt genuine. Never forced, always deeply human. As the years passed, however, even someone as effortlessly radiant as Hawn faced the realities of aging in an industry that often celebrates youth above all else. Like many performers in Hollywood, she has been the subject of speculation regarding cosmetic treatments intended to maintain a refreshed appearance. Reports and expert opinions have suggested the possible use of Botox and facial fillers, though Hawn herself has remained largely private about such details. These treatments, widely used in the entertainment world, are often subtle and designed to preserve rather than transform. Over time, some observers noted changes in her appearance, particularly during public appearances in the 2000s. Media discussions often pointed to a smoother, more structured look, sparking ongoing speculation. At the same time, such perceptions can be influenced by lighting, makeup, and the natural evolution that comes with age. Despite the attention, Hawn's legacy has never depended on appearance alone. In her later years, she has continued to act selectively while dedicating herself to family, her longtime partner Kurt Russell and daughter Kate Hudson, as well as her work with the Mind Up Foundation, which focuses on children's mental well-being. Her story reflects not only the challenges of aging in the spotlight, but also the enduring strength of a life and career built on sincerity, resilience, and joy. Kenny Rogers spent more than 6 decades as one of America's most beloved entertainers. With his warm, steady voice and unmistakable storytelling style, he created timeless classics such as The Gambler and Islands in the Stream. To generations of fans, he embodied sincerity, resilience, and the comforting spirit of traditional American music. Yet, as the years passed, the realities of aging in the public eye became increasingly difficult to ignore. By the 1990s, like many performers whose careers spanned decades, Rogers felt the growing pressure to maintain a youthful appearance. With the rise of high-definition television and constant media exposure, even the smallest signs of aging became more noticeable. In an effort to preserve his familiar look, he chose to undergo cosmetic procedures, including a facelift and eyelid surgery, decisions he hoped would offer a subtle refresh rather than a dramatic change. Unfortunately, the results did not meet his expectations. His once rugged and expressive features appeared overly tightened, altering the natural look fans had long associated with him. Many were surprised by the change, and Rogers himself later admitted that he felt somewhat disconnected from his own appearance. In interviews, he spoke candidly about his regrets, acknowledging that the outcome affected both his confidence and self-perception. Still, what never changed was his voice, or his ability to connect with audiences. Rogers continued performing well into his later years, reminding fans that his true legacy lay not in appearance, but in music, storytelling, and authenticity. When he passed away in 2020 at the age of 81, he left behind a body of work that continues to resonate, proof that genuine artistry always outlasts outward image. Rinna, long before becoming a familiar face on American television, simply wanted to feel more confident in her own skin. As a young woman inspired by Hollywood glamour, particularly the film Beaches, she made a decision that would shape her public image for decades. In the mid-1980s, she chose to receive silicone lip injections, believing fuller lips would give her a distinctive and memorable look. For many years, that choice seemed to pay off. Her full, prominent lips became her trademark, an instantly recognizable feature that helped define her presence on red carpets and television screens alike. However, as time passed, the long-term effects of those early cosmetic procedures began to surface. The silicone gradually hardened, causing discomfort, uneven texture, and visible asymmetry. What once symbolized confidence slowly became a source of both physical and emotional strain. After nearly 25 years, around 2010, Rinna sought corrective treatment to remove the damaged tissue. While the procedure brought some relief, it could not fully restore her natural appearance, leaving her to navigate the emotional aftermath. Despite this experience, she continued experimenting with cosmetic enhancements, including fillers and Botox, which over time led to noticeable changes in her facial expressions. In recent years, Rinna has taken a more reflective approach. She has openly acknowledged that some procedures did not suit her and has chosen to dissolve certain fillers. Today, she embraces a more natural look and speaks candidly about her journey. Her story serves as a thoughtful reminder of both the appeal and the lasting consequences of pursuing perfection in an industry that often struggles to accept the natural process of aging. Joan Van Ark rose to prominence in the 1970s and 1980s as one of television's most admired stars. Best known for her role as Valene Ewing on Knots Landing, she captivated audiences with her soft features, expressive eyes, and a natural elegance that reflected the classic beauty ideals of her time. Her performances carried warmth and emotional depth, making her a familiar and comforting presence in American households. As the years went on, however, the very image that defined her success also brought increasing pressure. Like many actors navigating an industry that often favors youth, Van Ark faced the challenge of maintaining her appearance as she aged. Reports suggest that in the early 1990s, she began with a subtle rhinoplasty, an adjustment that initially appeared minimal. Over time, this reportedly progressed to additional cosmetic procedures, including facelifts, eyelid surgery, and various skin treatments. Gradually, the cumulative effects of these procedures became more noticeable. The gentle softness that once defined her look appeared more tightened, and her facial expressions seemed less fluid than before. As high-definition television became the norm, every detail was magnified, drawing increased public and media attention. By the early 2000s, discussions about her appearance often overshadowed her decades of work and achievement. Despite the scrutiny, Van Ark has remained largely private about her personal choices. Her story reflects a broader reality in Hollywood, where aging can become a visible struggle under constant observation. It serves as a reminder that behind every familiar face is a human experience shaped by time, expectation, and the desire to hold on to what once was. Cayetana Fitz-James Stuart was one of the most remarkable aristocratic figures of modern Spain. As the head of the historic House of Alba, she carried centuries of heritage, prestige, and cultural influence. Known for her lively spirit and unconventional personality, she held more than 40 noble titles, making her one of the most titled individuals in the world. Surrounded by grand palaces, priceless art, and deep-rooted tradition, her life seemed extraordinary in every sense. Yet, like all public figures, she could not escape the passage of time. By the 1980s, as her public presence remained vibrant, she reportedly became increasingly aware of the visible signs of aging. What began as modest cosmetic enhancements gradually evolved into multiple procedures, including facelifts and injectable treatments, each likely intended to preserve her youthful appearance. Over time, however, the cumulative effects noticeably changed her features. Her transformation was further influenced by Melkersson-Rosenthal syndrome, a rare condition that can cause recurring facial swelling and distortion. This made it difficult to distinguish between the effects of medical issues and cosmetic interventions, shaping both her appearance and public perception. As the years passed, media attention grew, often focusing more on her changing looks than her remarkable life. Despite this scrutiny, the Duchess remained unapologetically independent. In 2011, at the age of 85, she surprised many by marrying a much younger man, a decision widely seen as a bold expression of personal freedom. When she passed away in 2014, she left behind a legacy defined not only by titles and wealth, but by individuality, resilience, and a life lived on her own terms. Latoya Jackson was born into one of the most recognized families in entertainment history, the Jackson family. Growing up alongside global icons like her brother Michael Jackson, she lived under constant public attention and comparison. In the 1980s, she worked to establish her own path as a singer, actress, and model. Her album, My Special Love, brought modest success and helped shape an image of warmth and accessibility that resonated with audiences. Behind that image, however, the pressures of fame and appearance steadily grew. By the late 1980s, Latoya reportedly underwent rhinoplasty, a change that quickly attracted public notice. In the years that followed, she was believed to have had additional cosmetic procedures, including further refinements and facial enhancements. Each step may have been intended to maintain a polished, camera-ready look, but over time, the cumulative effect gradually altered her natural features. As her appearance evolved, comparisons to Michael Jackson became more frequent, reinforcing a narrative shaped as much by media perception as by reality. Public attention often focused heavily on her looks, at times overshadowing her work and personal journey. This scrutiny reflected a broader pattern in the entertainment industry, where image can sometimes eclipse talent and individuality. In more recent years, Latoya has taken a more reflective and open approach, speaking about her life experiences and shifting the focus away from speculation. Now, in her later decades, she maintains a quieter presence, occasionally appearing in television projects while continuing to support her family's enduring legacy. Her story offers a thoughtful perspective on fame, identity, and the lasting impact of living in the public eye. Linda Evangelista, once one of the most recognizable faces of the 1990s supermodel era, built her legacy on bold reinvention and timeless elegance. Celebrated for her versatility and striking features, she helped redefine beauty standards across the fashion industry. Yet, years after stepping back from the spotlight, her life changed dramatically following a cosmetic procedure known as cool sculpting. Hoping to reduce stubborn fat without surgery, Evangelista instead developed a rare complication called paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, PAH. Rather than shrinking, the treated fat cells expanded and hardened, an outcome that left her physically altered and deeply affected. The experience led her to withdraw from public life for several years, as she coped not only with visible changes, but also with emotional distress and a loss of confidence. When she eventually spoke out, Evangelista brought widespread attention to the hidden risks of non-invasive cosmetic treatments. Often marketed as quick, safe, and effortless solutions, these procedures can still carry serious complications. Her candidness challenged long-standing assumptions and encouraged a more honest conversation about beauty, aging, and medical accountability. Today, Evangelista's story resonates far beyond the fashion world. By sharing her journey, she has helped others feel less alone and pushed for greater transparency within the cosmetic industry. More importantly, she has redefined strength, not as flawless appearance, but as the courage to speak openly and embrace oneself, even after life takes an unexpected turn. As we've seen, behind every transformation is a deeply human story, one shaped by pressure, perception, and the universal desire to feel confident in our own skin. In a world that often celebrates perfection, It's easy to forget that even the most famous faces are navigating the same insecurities and choices many of us face. What truly matters isn't the changes we see on the outside, but the resilience, honesty, and self-acceptance that come from within. These stories remind us that beauty isn't fixed. It evolves, just like life itself. And sometimes, the most powerful transformation isn't physical at all, but emotional. If this video gave you a new perspective, take a moment to reflect on how we define beauty and how we treat those in the spotlight. Let's move toward a more understanding, compassionate view, both for others and for ourselves. Thanks for watching. And if you found this meaningful, stay tuned for more stories that reveal the truth behind the headlines. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.